your favorite professor and why?
So I have a tie. I know that's not the answer that you guys want to hear, but my tie would be between Sasmita Palo ma'am and Zubin Mullah sir. Zubin Mullah sir joined TIS when we were in the second year. We were the first batch to experience him. And the kind of academic rigor that he brought into teaching was exemplary. It just raised the standards like right away from day one. The depth of reading that he has, the depth of understanding, the way that he would demand high standards from the students was very, very inspiring. So that's him. And Sasmita Palo ma'am is the warmest teacher that anyone could have. She was my research professor as well, so spent a long time with her, and definitely knows so much about HR and has a very broad understanding of so many elements, which is also reflected in the kind of classes that she takes. But essentially for being a very, very warm person and really caring about the students, personal, professional, in every possible way. So that's my type.
What's the one thing you miss the most about this?
I definitely miss my friends, and I miss hanging out with them. This was one of those institutes which was different from all the other MBA colleges. Just in the way the course was structured, it was designed so that there could be a lot of time talking to your peers. All of the other MBA colleges, and when we knew what was happening there were classes happening from morning 9 to evening 9, and then there were assignments, and essentially it was just a building in which classes were being anchored. But the environment in this was so different. That time, that space, even the mental space, not just the physical, beautiful campus that we had, but even having that sense of wanting to connect, that's what I miss. Absolutely. I mean, the moment you enter working life, it's so rare to go back to some of those spaces. But we do reconnect in our alumni meets, or we do have some of those small gatherings where we try to relive some of those moments.
How do TISians differentiate themselves at workplace?
There were two things, I think, if I really look at what TISians have accomplished at the workplace and the way that it's different from not just Excel. I know there's competition there, but with almost any other MBA school. One is around holistic thinking. The foundation courses as well as the fieldwork really grounds TISians very early on in holistic thinking. And holistic thinking about sectors, about different functions of HR, it's just broader. People who are in an MBA school, they enter the workplace and then they start putting the pieces together. But the way the course is structured for this, you get a lot more exposure right in those 2 years. So that's a clear differentiator, and that makes a huge difference as you grow up the ranks in your profession. The second I really would say is empathy. And empathy is subjective. It can't really be taught, but at the same time, it can be nurtured. And because of the whole connection with the larger social sciences ecosystem, different courses that we have, different kind of guest lectures, just the overall environment is rooted in social sciences. It really gives TISians a very unique sense of empathy of connecting with employees, even workers, with line managers, which is quite different from what other MBAs bring to the workplace. And individuals may, of course, have some of those skills, but it's almost like a universal characteristic with anybody who has studied at this. And if we look at some of the requirements in leaders now, these two are very important: holistic thinking and empathy. And that's where TISians very clearly differentiate themselves from any other beast.
What's your favorite spot at campus?
So I have a favorite spot, which almost nobody else will say is the favorite spot. That is the library. I loved the library at TIS. I spent hours and hours and hours there. I would have read over 150 books from that library over the over the course of my 2 years. There were others, juniors or classmates, who would go to pick up any book and they would find that the only person who has read it in the last 10 years is Shivati. And then they would make fun of me. But essentially, it was a great repository. And if you really think about the time that we were studying, this is 2009. Yes, of course, the internet had come in and there was material online, but it was not as rich as is today. And there was still the transition which was happening from articles, journals, books in the physical format to the virtual format. And we were there right at the cusp of it. So at that point, a lot of good books were available, which were very relevant for us, which was there in the library. I had come from a rural development background. I didn't really know so much about the corporate world. I didn't know anything about business. I knew social work and I knew the academics that I had studied earlier. I was a fresher. And the library was my window to understanding business in a very important way. And I miss the musty smell of books. I miss those long corridors. It's a beautiful place.
What is something special that you got at TISS and nowhere else?
The universal answer is fieldwork. That is something which is so unique and so special, and it's really a matter of geography, and it's a matter of heritage that TISSians are able to get access to 5 companies over a span of 2 years. Other companies have tried to replicate the model, but we have been there doing this longer than most others, and we are in Mumbai. We are in a place where there is so much happening in the world of business, whether it is startup, whether it is MNCs, whether it is large Indian conglomerates. So the kind of exposure that 4 fieldwork organizations give, and on top of which, when you have the summer project, that is unique. And somewhere one would have thought that other MBA colleges will pick it up, and it will no longer really be something special. But it's been almost 11 and a half years since I passed out, and it continues to be a unique USP that TISS offers that is very relevant for grooming professionals.
If given an opportunity, what is the one thing you could not do at TISS and would like to do now?
So I could have done it, and it was just me being in my own cocoon that I didn't do it, which is to really connect much more with my seniors and juniors. So you have 1 year of overlap with your senior batch, and then you have in the second year, you have an overlap with the junior batch. I knew them, they knew me. Some of them I spoke with, but some of my batchmates really spent a lot of quality time getting to know them, being friends, just hanging out, going out together. Those are relationships for life. I was busy either spending time in the library, spending time with my friends, or at that time I had a boyfriend who had just moved in from another city, and I was busy spending time with him, which was outside campus. And in hindsight, that was such a missed opportunity. If I could just go back, I would spend a lot more time with my seniors and juniors, because they were a wonderful set of people. As I have stepped into the workplace now, I know how well they are doing and how much there is to learn, and the value in being connected, really. So that's one thing that I would love to do if I had the opportunity to go back.
Any interesting stories you would like to recount regarding your time at TISS?
There are so many, but the hostel celebrations were a lot of fun. All of you are from engineering campuses, so you have a sense of how great that could be. But because we had the campus, and at that time it was the same building. One wing was the girls' hostel, and the other wing opposite was the boys' hostel. And essentially we could just see each other going up and down. So all of the fun that we had there, right at 12 o'clock at night, the birthday celebrations which used to happen, whenever it was somebody's birthday, everybody would just come down from all of the floors, and birthday bumps were given. They were fairly painful birthday bumps. Sometimes they would fun with water, and sometimes there was loud music, and then the security would come in and would try to break it up, saying that, hey guys, you are going to be entering the workforce, you're going to be managers, this is not appropriate behavior, etc. But that was real fun. And this was the second year where we were all together in that single building. Again, it's a matter of time and destiny that we were able to have that. But I mean, if you ask anybody in my batch, Manoj Bhai's birthday celebrations were really special. And as you talk to more people, you should get more clues about how those used to go.
How did this institution make you a better person other than academically?
Better person is a tall claim. Uh, I definitely know that I'm a better professional because I went to this. I know much more about what human resources should really be like. And unfortunately, human resources is a function where the common industry perception always is, how is this different than common sense? I mean, when I was studying, that was there. When you guys pass out and you guys do similar interviews after 11 years, it'll be the same thing because everybody thinks they can understand people. And being a specialist, having specialist knowledge in what human resources is about, ensuring that we are able to add value to the business as an equal partner, the kind of grounding that this gives is quite unique. It really teaches you the basics. It gives you exposure to the best in the industry. That would never have happened had I not come to this. So I could have done HR from maybe any other institute, but the depth of HR education that this gave, I think, was really unique. And ultimately, in the workplace, you'll realize over a period of time that there's not too much of difference between being a good professional and a good person. Many times in HR, the decisions are ambiguous. They are a little gray. They are not exactly about implementing something which is cast in black and white. And a lot of it is about judgment. A lot of it is about ethics, about morality. If you are a good professional where your grounding is solid and the principles are solid, you are a better person and you are a better professional. And if that is not there, then the decisions that you're taking are not really sound. And the way that you'll be experienced as a person can't be very great if the decisions are not sound. That's the way I would like to answer it. It's not so much about being a better person, but it's about really knowing how to be a good professional. And if that is there, and you're doing it holistically with all that you have, then you'll be a great person. No doubt about it.
What clubs or extracurricular did you participate in?
I was part of the alumni committee, which was it was in nascent stages, let me put it that way. There was an alumni database, there was an Excel sheet, there were some phone numbers, most of them were redundant. Remember, this was a time when you could not really change telecom providers when you moved from one state to another. And also every state has its own circle. So essentially numbers changed all the time. Anybody who got transferred got a new number. So, and email was also relatively new. So we had a very rudimentary Excel sheet, and it was our job to then update that, to connect with all of these alumni. Manthan, of course, used to happen, has to be part of that. So yeah, I see the work that the alumni committee is doing now, and I'm so proud. It's come such a long way. We were really starting out in those days. I follow the work that is there on LinkedIn largely. I'm not there on Facebook, but I see the kind of posts which are coming up on LinkedIn or new initiatives like this. There's a much stronger connect. The website is there. There are regular mails coming from there encouraging people to update. So at least the infrastructure is there. And then it becomes about leveraging. But it's been an incredible journey just in a matter of 10 years.
What's your advice for the current batch?
The current batch is the batch which is either experiencing the first year or the second year in the middle of the pandemic. You guys are experiencing the first year. You're wondering when will the pandemic end and when will you be able to be in the same campus again. So I really hope that happens very quickly for all of you. Till that time that happens, definitely stay in touch with all of your batchmates. I can imagine that it's far more challenging and there is screen fatigue. All of us, even in the workspace, are experiencing that. But there is phone, there are other avenues. But do try to spend the time that you have in these 2 years trying to make those relationships. And the same goes for seniors, juniors, etc. It's just going to be much more difficult to do it off campus. But that's the challenge. Really, for all of you, that's the challenge. If you're able to crack that, the education will happen. I'm sure that the quality of faculty, the quality of studies, the assignments, all of that is happening to some extent. But it's not the same. The building connect with peers is not the same when it is virtual. So just put in a little more effort in that. And I really hope that you guys are able to see each other back at campus very soon.
TIS.
Green.
Life as HR.
Gray.
Hostel.
Fun.
TIS campus.
Awesome.
Mumbai.
Probably the best city in the country. But I've spent 2 years in Hyderabad and now there is a tie there. But second best, if not the best.